Well, it's live.
We're live.
It's live.
All right.
Alright.
So, what's up, Crown community? Hope everyone's having a great evening or morning, whichever time zone you're in. My name is Efren. I'm your host. I'm here with Rich,
What up?
and also to my right,
I'm here. I was just setting up the camera, guys. What's up?
got Aubrey Freely.
What's going on, guys?
So today we're actually going to be talking about the new film, The Batman. As you guys know, this film, it took a while for it to actually even be made because of the whole pandemic and all sorts of other complications. But it finally happened, and yeah, we just got a chance, an opportunity to watch it. It is Thursday, almost gonna be midnight. But yeah, I mean, dude, we just completely watched it. It's a 3-hour film, first of all.
Yeah, a 3-hour film. Also, this is going to be a review about the film. So no spoiler talk yet, but we will warn you about the spoiler midway through the video. So we're just going to talk about the things that you guys know about during the trailers, what you saw in the trailers, about the characters, but we're not going to spoil about anything about the movie yet, just because I know some of you guys haven't seen it yet. So for some of you guys who just joined in, welcome. And yeah, this is definitely live. Welcome to our Crown Gambit channel. So let's start off with character development. I mean, let's start with the Batman. What do you guys think about the Batman? What do you think about Robert Pattinson as Batman? Rich, Efren?
Dude, I honestly like Robert Pattinson playing. Like he did really well.
Yeah.
As the way that he portrayed Bruce Wayne and he portrayed Batman. I mean, they're two different characters, but still the way that he played them was just incredible. I mean, I gotta say, the only one that kind of topped it was Dark Knight. What's that character's name?
Who's the actor? It was
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale, directed by Christian Nolan. So about this film, it has a lot of. I mean, we'll go back and forth with the characters, but this film has a lot of edgy practical effects, just like the Batman Begins and the Dark Knight, like the Nolan verse, right, Rich?
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, you have special effects, but at the same time, some of the digital effects and some of the CGI are only used if it's necessary, just like something Nolan would do. I mean,
Right.
we know that Nolan uses, CGI with the Scarecrow with Batman Begins, and with some of the stunts animating Batman in the digital world. But at the same time, only if you really need to use it. But I see there's a lot of practical effects in this film, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What did you think about?
I mean, what are some of the characters that that highlighted the film for you? Because I have a couple that I can talk about right now. And I want to see what you guys thought.
Let's finish off with Robert Pattinson. I mean,
Patterson?
Yeah, I mean, what did you think about the actor?
I like Robert Patterson. I wasn't so sure about Robert Patterson in the beginning, because there was all this drama about him not working out, or he was complaining about the whole working out thing. But at the same time, I like his delivery as Batman, and the fact that he didn't have to use that kind of grungy voice that Christian Bale did. I mean, some people liked it, some people didn't. Maybe it was a little too rough, but he actually used his regular voice for this one, and he didn't have to automate his voice just like Ben Affleck did with BVS or the Justice League.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't have to use any equipment to change his voice or automate it or just auto-tune it or whatever. It's not called auto-tune. I'm just using auto-tune as a word. But yeah, I think his voice worked well with this one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Affleck and Patterson they're 20 years apart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're
You're talking about age-wise? Or
No,
you're
I
talking
mean
about,
in terms of Batman and
character
character,
wise?
the Batman character development.
Two different characters,
Yeah.
right? Two different characters. Yeah. No, but go ahead. What were you saying?
I think it's dope because Rob Pattinson did they didn't do the billionaire playboy philanthropist. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They did the very lonely broken child.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
it shows you what kind of psychopath
Right. Exactly.
Batman is.
Yeah.
How he's psychologically
They
fucked.
showed his dark side.
And,
Yeah.
and this Batman is so unexperienced.
Yeah.
He's taking hits like the Batman that we know can dodge the bullets. You know, can kind of calculate and time himself, and keep himself from getting hit from like the thugs or bullets or anything. But this Batman gets hit so many times, and he gets dragged by thugs. I mean,
yeah, I mean that's the
and
first
this is
thing
in the
I
trailer,
noticed.
guys. So we're not spoiling anything yet.
That's
but
the first thing I noticed was how much damage he was taking.
yeah.
It's like he enjoyed that. So that fueled.
No, it's not
his
that he
energy.
enjoyed it. It's
But
that
it
the
fueled
fact that. Oh yeah,
Every
maybe
time
they
he
feel
get hit, like he would get
Yeah.
more like
rage
like spaz
and
out.
stuff. Yeah, just like in the trailer, you see him punching that one thug who looks like he had paints on his face and everything, so you can see the aggression with his character. But I feel like his character is just he doesn't know how to control his rage yet, so he's still trying to balance that out, right?
Right.
So yeah.
I just feel like he's too emotional in this film. Like he has a lot of.
This is a very
bottled
emo.
up.
This is a very emo Batman. Yeah, just like the trailer would say. I want to jump in with. I mean, is there anything else you guys want to talk about with Batman with Patterson?
No,
Not without having to spoil
I
it.
give him.
without spoiling it yet.
I think he's in terms of substance, I think he's a much better Batman than Christian Bale was.
Oh, okay.
Just in terms of just like I think there's a path that we're gonna watch Batman go through.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's gonna be we're gonna watch him like grow. I mean,
Grow.
we didn't see year one. This is more year two.
So definitely year two.
Right.
If they made a film, if they were to make a live action film of year one, this is something. This is how it would look.
Yeah.
Basically. Which a lot of people probably know. They are getting references from The Long Halloween, year one. Also another comic book. That
There's
I
a
wanna mention.
lot
I don't
of
even
Long
want to mention the other
Halloween
one
here.
yet because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. But we'll throw in the spoiler warning for you guys who haven't seen it yet. I want to jump into another character, Catwoman, Zoe Kravitz. How do you feel about her character, and how do you differentiate her with all the other Catwoman women in the past that we've had in live action? In this film. Like how do you guys differentiate her between?
I think she's way better than Halle Berry.
Well, I think anything is way better than Halle Berry's.
And
Catwoman,
I
bro.
think she did better than what's her name? Was it Nicole Pfeiffer? No.
Michelle
Pfeiffer. I think she did a lot better. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer was like the like epitome Catwoman, like that was like the bar.
Right.
Because the '87 Batverse was dope.
Tim Burton
those
wanted
Tim Burton films.
to create a dark Batman serious tone, especially after what we got from like the '60s Batman sitcom.
Yeah, like the
With Adam
campy,
West,
the campy stuff.
So people weren't taking comic books seriously at the time. So you figured, okay, you know what? Let's create a film. Even after Superman's Christopher Reeve's Superman, let's create another film that's serious and not too campy, and see how people like it. Let's see if we can innovate the comic book franchise, which he kind of did in a way.
I mean, yeah,
Tim Burton's,
he definitely changed the game.
Mm-hmm. This is a very, very young Catwoman. A very, very young Catwoman. Just like you see in the trailers, you don't see her with her suit yet, right? So she's just barely learning her role. Like she's still figuring out, who she is, right? In this film, and it's like Catwoman in training wheels, basically.
Yeah, I mean it's Batman and Catwoman.
And Catwoman, Batman. I think Zoe Kravitz did really well in this film. Without spoiling anything, there's a lot to her story within this film. For you guys who haven't seen it yet, as far as like her background and like the references from the comic book, it was a year one, Batman year one, that they took references to Catwoman, or was it year two or something? I'm not so sure, but they definitely took some stuff from her backstory that's taken out of the pages of like those very popular novels of Batman. But yeah, I like her. I mean, what do you think of her?
I think
Like
she
Zoe
did-
Kravitz?
I think
She's-
she did great.
I think she's the best Catwoman so far. Yeah.
Bro, you're not being biased, right?
No.
you're because you love this movie. You're not being biased, right?
I don't think it's better than Dark Knight Returns.
Okay, wait, no, I think The Dark Knight is still better than
Yeah, yeah, that's
Returns.
what I'm saying.
The Dark Knight.
No, no,
With
no.
the Joker.
With the Joker, yeah.
With the Joker, yeah,
Yeah.
The Dark
Yeah.
Knight. The Dark Knight, no, Dark Knight Rises. I think it's called The Dark Knight
I
Rises.
thought that was with Bane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's with Bane.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said The Dark Knight Returns. I think that's the comic.
The
That's the comic book.
the Batman is with Scarecrow,
Right.
right? And
right.
then the
Batman Begins.
Batman begins with Scarecrow, and then
Dark Knight is with the Joker.
the Dark Knight is with the Joker,
Rises
and then the Dark Knight
is
Rises is Bane.
Right,
Yeah, there you
right.
go. Yeah,
I think by far, like,
that's still
it's hard to top that film, especially
hard.
with Heath
Yeah.
Ledger's
Yeah.
performance. And speaking of performance, Paul Dano.
Paul Dano.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, yeah.
as the Riddler. Paul Dano as the Riddler. I already knew ever since that movie, There Will Be Blood. If you see that one scene, because he tries to play this like pastor, kind of like priest, but fake. He kind of fakes his way in becoming this priest and, you know, how to heal people and stuff. And you can see his performance in just that one scene where like he's just squeamish, you know, very, very squeamish. He gets beat up a lot in that film, There Will Be Blood, but just by watching that scene alone, you already know what kind of performance he's going to be bringing to this film, and he brought it. Dude,
Yeah,
he
did.
brought it.
Like he
All I
gave that
wanted-
creepy vibes.
Yeah.
Creepy vibes at the same. It's like that serial killer. That you know.
If you guys haven't seen the movie Prisoners
Okay, that's another
with
film.
Wolverine, Wolverine's in it.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman,
Wolverine.
Jake Gyllenhaal, and Paul Dano. I mean, Paul Dano plays this kidnapping child molester psychopath
Mhm.
and kidnaps these kids.
Right.
And it's basically a detective movie. They're trying to figure out who this killer is, and he's like, kind of like the Zodiac in the same way
Yeah.
that he was in Batman.
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
they were leaving like these little puzzles behind, like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
maze,
yeah.
and they had to figure out what the maze was, and there was mazes everywhere.
Mhm.
And there was a scene where they let Paul Dano go from the police precinct because they
What
couldn't
is
charge
his
him.
character in that film? What is his character?
He's like what's his name from
Saw.
the Bates Motel.
Norman Bates.
He's like Norman
He's
Bates.
like Norman Bates.
So he like lives with his mom, but his mom's actually still there.
Okay.
And his dad was the original kidnapper, and then after his dad left, he started doing the same kidnappings.
Wow.
So
okay. Okay.
and his mom was just protecting him.
And his performance is just as wild as this
I mean, it's crazy. There's a scene where he walks out of the police precinct, and Hugh Jackman's like, "You motherfucker," you know, like going in, and then he looks at him really low,
Yeah.
and he gets real close to him, and he goes, "They cried when I put him away." So I mean,
He's
and-
so intense.
and he
dude.
looks like a fucking serial killer.
He's so intense.
And
I
that's
mean,
how he acted on this film too.
and in the trailer, there is a scene. I think they Warner Brothers laid out a few trailers before prior to the film. Paul Dano was revealed in the coffee shop because in the second trailer, even the official trailer, we don't see Paul Dano's face. We don't see his face at all. We see him wearing, you know, whatever he's wearing, like his.
Jumpsuit or something like
It's
that.
like a jumpsuit, but like he has this like leather mask that he wears. And then during the trailer, you don't see his face at all. Maybe you see his head.
No, they only see the
Mhm.
coffee cup with the little Riddler sign.
Right. But the last trailer, which I'm sure a lot of you have already seen because I know a lot of you guys have been catching up with like the Batman, you know, binge and everything. You actually see his face, and when the police officers actually turn him, and this isn't a trailer, so it's not a spoiler. When they actually turn him, you see like an innocent face.
Yeah.
All you see is an innocent face.
Yeah.
So you think, okay, how can someone like this guy be killing people, you know, in such a gruesome way?
Yeah, that's. Like,
And speaking of gruesome, dude, I mean, this film is referencing not only comic books but other films.
There's a lot of David Fincher in here.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zodiac.
Saw. Right?
Yeah.
What's Saw's
Definitely
character's
Saw.
name?
Jigsaw.
Jigsaw, yeah.
Jigsaw.
It was like Jigsaw, like just the way that he created
He's
these
so
puzzles,
Jigsaw.
the way he created all
Mhm.
these riddlers for Batman to be able, and it's all leading towards Batman.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just crazy how much thought he put into creating all of these puzzles for Batman to play with him. It's like that's how you saw it, like as a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just like, dude, the way that he portrayed that character was just, it gave me creepy vibes.
He's so
In certain
creepy.
Parts, I was like, whoa.
He's
that's
so
crazy.
creepy. And you know, before we get to the next character, each character had their moment to shine. You know, it's not like Batman Begins where it's mostly Ra's al Ghul, you know, and then you have a little bit of Scarecrow as like a side thing. But I think each character had their own moment with Batman and screen time for the viewers to really love, because I love each and every single one of these characters. I think each and one of these characters, I mean, even Alfred. Alfred did pretty well playing a father role to Batman. You can see the relationship, you can see the chemistry between them.
Yeah, the bond.
And when he, you know, in this one scene, like something happens, but you can see the pain that Batman goes through, you know, because he sees Alfred as his like only father figure, the only person, or the only family he has. And yeah, man, but absolutely, Paul Dano, I'm glad they didn't kill off these villains, because that's one thing that, you know, a lot of these like Marvel DC films do. They kill off their main villains, right? So we don't get to see him like in the sequels. We don't see him, you know, we don't get to see him develop some more in like in the next films and stuff like that. So yeah, I love it so much. And then the next character I want to talk about performance wise as well is Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Gosh, dude. I mean,
Yeah, at the beginning. Yeah, like the way they introduced the Penguin was dope.
it's Colin Farrell. I would not have known. I mean, even though if I knew he was wearing all that prosthetics, he is such a good actor. For him to channel himself from one person to something else, and to make the viewers and to make us, the moviegoers, believe that he's a different character, is just like something out of the ordinary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's so good. Like I literally forgot that was you know, skinny Colin Farrell wearing all that makeup, wearing all that.
Totally
suit.
unrecognizable.
Right. But his performance though,
Yeah.
right, as the Penguin, by far, I'm sorry, Danny DeVito, I love you, bro, but man, he killed it as the Penguin. By far, he is the best Penguin.
Yeah, he is.
Maybe he is the only Penguin. Okay, I don't want to say the only, but Danny DeVito as a Penguin was a classic Penguin for me. Something that is hard to replace.
Right.
Like, how do you replace somebody like that? You know, in that stature, you know, in that, like, to perform in that with his physicality. So with someone like for them to, you know, get some, I was afraid, because I'm like, oh dude, like Colin Farrell doesn't even look like a penguin. He's too skinny, he's too pretty, you know what I mean? He's like all that stuff, and like he doesn't look like a penguin. But yeah, he knocked it out of the park. I think so. I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah. Good job. Good job
right?
overall. I mean, the acting, all the actors in the movie were great.
Yeah. Commissioner Gordon.
Jeffrey Wright.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wright.
Westworld. If you guys haven't seen Westworld, watch Westworld.
Oh gosh, Jeffrey Wright is so good, dude.
Yeah.
So
I
good.
love the way that Matt Reeves like depicted Gotham. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he made Gotham kind of like the shithole it
grungy,
was.
like
You know,
very grungy,
very dark.
That we were talking about.
It's different. It's not New York. You know what I mean?
Okay, but compare it to like Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. You know how they recreated like that whole set to make it look like something that does not exist. They use a real city to, you know, do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Nolan did something like that too, where he recreated Gotham, but tried to make it as realistic as possible.
Yeah,
But I
Gotham
think
was more like New York
it was very New
in
York
the
or
Nolan
Chicago.
verse. Yeah,
Or Chicago,
And the Matt Reeves Gotham is more dark. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
it's more like I don't want to say unreal or not realistic, but it's
very
more
real.
tuned into like the Batman world
Yes.
of where he's from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Crime, like the crime rate.
Right.
You know what happens there, and you know the mob influence that's in there.
Right, exactly.
I mean it takes. I mean, if you guys seen the animated series, it takes a lot from the animated series as well.
Oh, you're talking about the Batman anime series
yeah.
from the 90s?
Yeah, the
From
90s, yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That was such a dark show for a kid show. I mean, there was a
Yeah.
lot of deaths in that show too
There was.
for a Saturday morning or a
Yeah.
weekday show or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gotham. They did Gotham very right. I love the atmosphere. I love the ambiance. Just the set and the feel of Gotham was so realistic. You can just touch and feel it. Um, I'm like looking for CGI effects in this film. I'm sure they use some CGI effects there, but it's just so good and so practical. They use so many practical effects here that you can't even tell what's real and what's not. You know what I mean? But you know they use some CGI here, but you just
Yeah.
can't tell because it's that good. I like it. It's something out of the Nolan verse. This is so definitely something out of the Nolan verse. Yeah. So as far as the characters, like every single each and every one of the characters did so well. I was afraid of Colin Farrell's portrayal of the Penguin at first, but after seeing his makeup, his look, and you know how he delivered the Penguin, I didn't even know he was going to deliver the Penguin like that. You know, it's just something out of like the Arkham Asylum games or something. Even the Riddler is a little bit something off of the Arkham Asylum games. His death traps and stuff like, whoa, Arkham Asylum,
Yeah.
or Arkham City, or you know what I mean. So very good on that. So I want to talk about I don't know. You guys want to get into the spoilers, but I don't know. How do you feel about the spoilers now? Do you guys want to get into spoilers now? Because there are a lot of things in this film, and if you guys are watching this right now, I don't know. You guys down to do spoilers right now?
I mean,
we've already covered the characters. There's
So-
really not much without talking about the film itself.
If you guys haven't watched this, we're about to spoil some of the Easter eggs and some of the things here that we've noticed being comic readers, you know, like almost forever, or at least you know from the time when we were kids and stuff. Everything that we've remembered that they reference either the films or the games, because they did a lot of that. So we're gonna spoil this video. This is gonna be a spoiler review in about.
Spoilers.
Yeah, obviously I can't put the the effects on that, but we're about to spoil this review in about 3, 2, 1. All right, spoilers, guys.
Spoilers.
All right, so a lot of spoiler alert. So there are a lot of Easter eggs in here. We can go back and forth. We don't have to go in order, but I want to throw in like the death traps of the Riddler. So remember that one scene when he kidnapped one of the DAs and attached like some sort of like a brace, a neck brace on him, and it exploded once he arrived in the funeral.
Yeah, like he flew.
That right there, I don't know where they got it from, but that reminds me of the Pizza Bomber and the story of the Pizza Bomber on Netflix. And it's
it's a real life
It's a
thing.
real
He went
life-
into a bank and he had a bomb
Did
tattoo
you
on
see
his
that?
neck.
I was
Yeah.
like, dude, that's so the Pizza Bomber right
Yeah.
there.
It blew up in
And
the
then
like
blew
almost
up in
by
front of
by
her.
McDonald's almost.
No. It was
No,
McDonald's,
he
it
sat.
was a van.
He sat right in front of it and he was telling
Yeah.
the police officers to take it off of him,
Right.
and they didn't believe it was a bomb.
Yeah, and then he had like a cane
Yeah.
of some sort to use as a gun.
Hmm.
So he literally just went into the bank and like picked up maybe $4,000, and the two people who were the mastermind of that bomb actually they detonated the bomb because it was about to talk. Yeah, that right there. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Did he get that from that?
Absolutely,
You think so?
100%.
Oh, so trippy, dude. I tripped out. I was like, I had chills. I had so much chills.
What about like the callback with the Jim Carrey callback? Riddle me this.
Which one?
Big
Oh, yeah.
Bat,
Yeah.
Who's afraid of the big bat Black Wolf? Like that was a pretty
The big bad black. The big
black
the
wolf.
big
Bat.
bad
The big bat.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know why I
There
said
you
wolf.
go.
But
It's midnight.
it's already the midnight.
It's
hour.
midnight.
The midnight strikes.
Yeah.
No, but that was a pretty cool callback. Just having to watch that.
Yeah. We do get a Joker, and it's played by Rich. You know who's playing the Joker?
Yeah, that's my boy Barry Keoghan.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys haven't seen him, he's in the Eternals. Did a good job in the Eternals.
I think so. Yeah.
I knew off the bat he was going to be the Joker
How did you
because
know though?
I mean they cast him in the movie and he's originally casted as a police officer, and then right before the release date his role turns into unseen Arkham prisoner, And I'm like, that's the Joker. And
Nice.
that and his brother posted a picture of him being the Joker like months ago when he was drunk on Instagram, so he kind of burned the spot.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I bet your Warner Bros. Got mad at that, right?
I'm
For
pretty
probably,
sure.
Like they had snipers on them. Like, dude, shut up. We're gonna keep this in the low pro. So for some of you
And
guys just
he
joining
made
right now,
he made a clown reference, and you know, they look at you like you're a clown, right?
Yeah. He had some Joker voices in
Some
there
people
too.
are saying it's Two-Face, but I'm like, it's definitely.
Efren thought it was Two-Face.
Like literally from the side, it looked like Two-Face.
But I saw his. No, they can't be Two-Face because we still need a DA.
Yeah, so the DA is
The
dead.
DA is dead, so therefore I'm gonna have to introduce Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent's
a
gonna
young
take in the
Harvey
role.
Dent, of course.
And
right?
Gordon's gonna take in the commissioner role.
And then of course Gordon's gonna take over the commissioner role because the commissioner died again, just
And-
like Commissioner Loeb from Batman Begins.
And I
Or-
think this is when. I think that's when Wayne Enterprises becomes like.
Oh, that's when Batman suits up into the suits and becomes like
He becomes like
he
a.
gets his shareholders
Yeah.
altogether, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's nobody inside the Wayne Enterprise right now. It's like it's empty, right?
It's
Or-
it's an empty place.
Yeah, and
The
then-
Batcave is a subway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But see, that's a callback
dope.
to Batman Begins because remember how Alfred, Michael Caine's Alfred said, your father used to, he built this underground and this was a subway at one point or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It was under the Batcave, but it's not a Batcave anymore. It's just an old Wayne subway station.
It is. It's
Right?
an old Wayne subway
Yeah,
station.
yeah. So yeah, that's awesome. And for you guys just joining right now, we are doing spoiler talk. So just letting you know, just fair warning for those jumping in right now. We've already warned you. And he just jumps out because we warned
Yeah.
you. Spoiler talk. Thank you. We just want to be fair. Yeah, and another thing I want to throw in, another Easter egg is Hush.
Oh, yeah.
Hush. That got me to jump out of my seat when the Riddler was doing his video and he was talking about Hush. When I saw Dr. Elliot's name, I was like, dude,
It's Hush.
friggin' Hush, dude. And
Yeah.
at first, when I first saw the trailer, the way his first victim was wrapped around his face, at first I thought it was Hush. On the first trailer, the Batman, I'm like, wait a minute, this is Hush? Right? Because of the bandages and everything, but it's not. But if you read the comic book Hush, you already know what's going to happen at Hush. The Riddler does play a big part in that comic book Hush. Did you read it yet, my friend? I'm going to have to lend you that. That's one of the best comic books. It does have a gallery of all the rogues, Batman rogues in that comic book. I believe it's a two-parter, right? Is Hush a two-parter
No.
or a one-parter?
It's a one.
It's a one-parter, but
yeah.
it's a big,
Yeah.
thick story. Riddler plays a big role in that in that comic book. He's actually a mastermind. He's the last person Batman sees. For all you guys who haven't read it, definitely read it. But they did make an animated film that's reference to that book called Hush, and they changed it and made the Riddler Hush. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Did you know that? Oh,
Yeah.
you saw
I
that.
saw the
right?
animated film too.
How'd you feel about that?
I
Making
mean,
the Riddler
it works.
Hush.
It works.
You didn't like. You weren't. You didn't. You know.
It was really like Riddler stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of making the Riddler like the Jim Carrey campy dude, they
Yeah.
made the Riddler the Zodiac killer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Again, a lot of references to Seven. When they caught Riddler, and I don't know if it was Blackgate or Arkham Asylum. Was it Blackgate that they had him in, or was it Arkham Asylum?
It was Arkham.
It was Arkham, right? So when they imprisoned Riddler, and he started revealing certain clues because he did Batman didn't even know what the last clue was, and he was trying to get more clues from Riddler. Okay, what's your next move? What's your next this? And the Riddler started cracking all these puzzles and telling Batman, it's Bruce. He's the last guy. It's the Wayne family. When Batman started slamming, and this is in the trailer as well, when he started slamming in that window, on that glass that's separating him between him and Enigma, Paul Dano's Riddler. When he slammed that, I thought he was gonna say, "What's in the box, man? What's in the box?" Yeah, that was great. I really love it. I love their dynamic. I love Paul Dano in this one so much. I want to see Paul Dano more. We only get to see Paul Dano's face towards the end of the film.
Yeah.
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 At the beginning, it was all just that mask.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Efren? about overall, like any Easter eggs that kind of got you or that you can think of. Did you play any of the Arkham Asylum games?
Yeah, I played the first one.
Did you play like Arkham City or anything like that?
I tried it, then I kind of stopped playing that.
Have you guys played Batman Telltale games? Have you ever played that? Because that right there was another. Because I played the Batman Telltale games, and it's a different direction as far as like origin of Bruce Wayne's Batman, but it's still a good game. It's a good storytelling game. It's more of a storytelling game than it is an action game, but that right there has there's a lot of reference to that game too as well, because we talk about the Falcones and the relationship between the
Falcones and the Waynes.
And the Waynes.
Yep.
And when Falcone said, "Oh yeah, your father was no Boy Scout. What are you talking about? Like he was one of us." I was like, dude, that's like straight out of the Batman Telltale games. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, they took a lot from Long Halloween.
So much.
A lot of it's from Long Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole like Batman's actually a detective. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's another thing.
He's not playing a superhero.
Yeah.
He's playing a guy that has a mental issue that is abnormally smart at picking up clues, because he was picking up the riddles immediately.
Yeah, quick.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he's a genius intellect, basically. But in this film, the Riddler is 10 steps ahead of him. In this film.
Yeah.
He's 10 steps ahead.
Look how long it took to find him.
But then Batman was so smart that he's able to catch up, with all of Riddle's like puzzles and stuff.
But what's crazy is like, alright, because, I mean, can you compare geniuses between Batman
and psychopaths?
Dude, come on, Riddler, he wouldn't have gotten caught if he didn't put himself out there.
He let himself get
exactly.
caught. He wanted to get caught.
He thought that he had planned out that him and Batman were gonna like have some sort of like hey, we're kind of like the same, you and I.
Yeah.
You know, but he didn't plan that out. That's why he went all rogue and shit. But still, like just having to compare like in intellects, I feel like the Riddler was way smarter than.
Well, see, the relationship between Batman and Riddler is always Edward Nygma, and I don't know if they call him Edward Nygma.
No,
in this
he's
film.
a different name.
Like Nash or something.
Yeah, I think Nygma
Edward Nash.
I don't think Nygma is like his real name though. Like I think that's like his.
He just did it for Enigma.
Right, Enigma. Like he just made it up. Like he, it's his stage name. But the relationship between him and Batman is, he always wants to prove to Batman that he's smarter than him.
Right.
No matter what, he will do anything just to prove to him that I'm smarter than you. You know, even if he gets caught, like even though if he like gets hurt, like oh, you beat me down, I got you. You know, I'm smarter, I got you. You know, just as long as I can prove that I'm smarter than you, that's what gets like that's his high right there. That's that's the relationship between those two. And what I love about this film is there has not been any Batman films where we have a detective mode.
Where you hear the narration.
The narration. That's that's
the
straight
real
up year one right
detective
there.
noir, Sin City.
Noir. We've never heard a Batman talk to himself. Like this is like something out of something like Rorschach would do from
Exactly.
from Watchmen.
Exactly.
Like he would talk about like one day the people are going to say save me, and I'm going to say no. You know, like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, shit, it's so deep, and it just gives you chills. Just hearing Bruce Wayne talk to himself, because it's us. We're the conscience. We're listening to him, and I love that because we've never had that before. We've never had that with Christian Bale. We've never had that with Ben Affleck. We've never had that with Keaton. No Batman. We've never had that at all. But we've also never had Batman who's solving riddles and clues. Not even in the Batman Forever films. We've never had anything. I mean, somewhat, but we've never had anything like that where he teams up with Gordon and just like solve clues together. It's this is not even a Batman film. It doesn't even feel like a Batman film. It just feels like a suspense thriller film on its own. I almost forgot that this is a comic book film. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't even feel like a comic book film. Like it doesn't feel like a superhero film at all.
I mean,
it just feels like a film.
And I feel like Rob Pattinson's Batman makes a change by the end of the film.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning of the film, when he beats the hell out of that guy and he says, "I'm vengeance," that's his attitude in the beginning of the film. But by the end of the film, it's the same guy that he beats up and they ask the guy, "Who are you?" and he says, "I'm Vengeance." And I think at that point, Rob Pattinson's Batman realizes that vengeance isn't the way, right? So he adopts being the Batman versus being Vengeance, because they were calling him Vengeance
You're so
throughout
right.
the film.
You're so right. Yeah, even Calvin was like, "Hey, Vengeance."
Yeah,
Like as a joke, like, dude, stop calling me that.
yeah. And even like random police officers were calling him Vengeance.
Right.
Right?
I love the relationship with him and Selena Kyle, because even towards the end, you can tell that he really cares about her.
Yeah,
You know,
they made Selena Kyle a Falcone, so she is a Falcone in this film, just like in The Long Halloween.
I did not even know that. I forgot that bit of the comic book.
She has a sister, remember? Her sister goes down there to fight and she dies, and then, you don't remember?
I don't remember that.
No?
Part. What's her sister's name again? Wait, is that one girl she's always
She's
like hanging
tall,
around
kind of
with?
big.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big sister, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's her half sister.
Yeah.
Her half sister,
Her
right?
half-sister, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember her. Okay, yeah, a lot of things. I want to go back and reread Year One and Long Halloween again, because those were two of my favorite books. And Hush, I want to reread Hush again. Like, I think every Batman character came out in Hush too.
Yeah.
So I love the comic book. I'm going to lend you the comic book, friend. You're going to love that story, because I feel like we're going to have a Hush. Maybe some more Hush references maybe in the second film.
And we know that Batman in this film has already dealt with Joker, because Joker's in Arkham.
Yeah,
He's already locked up. So there was already something that.
What was his speech? What was it? What did he tell Edward? He said something like, "You did well," because like I kind of did something.
Because
You did pretty good, so don't feel bad.
Yeah,
He said you're worth more when you have less. What am I?
A friend.
A friend.
He gave him a riddle, bro.
Riddle me this. Little callback to Jim Carrey.
Oh my gosh, dude. I mean, there's so much in this film. Yeah, guys.
It's 3 hours. It's a lot to digest.
It's a lot to digest.
But it's easy to understand if you're not a Batman fan.
Yeah.
Or if you haven't read the comics or seen the animated movies. You could still watch it and get a lot from it.
I was gonna get to that. For a lot of people out there, like even everyone haven't read some of these comic books, you don't have to read those comic books to actually understand this film, because again, you forget that this is a superhero film.
Yeah, it tells its own story.
For the general moviegoers out there that know, even though if you know nothing about Batman and you just watch this film just like blindly, you're gonna appreciate it for what it is, because you're gonna probably relate to it in relation to other films that you've watched before.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this reminds me of this other thriller film that I watched like years back. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be something that you can relate to, either or you're a superhero fan or not. Because again, I totally forgot that this is a superhero film. For a while, I was like, oh shit, we're still watching that.
You know what else was really dope? His wingsuit. He had a squirrel suit on.
Yeah.
And you could
that
see
exists.
and you could see how unqualified to fly a wingsuit he was.
Yeah.
Because he almost killed himself.
Yeah, he crashed. He crashed with that.
You know what I mean?
See, that's what it goes back to what you were saying. Like, he was an experience. Like, he's still
Yeah,
learning.
taking all that damage, man. Like
He wasn't even sure. He was like,
yeah, he got up there and he was like,
should I do it now?
Yeah.
Is this
He had
the right
that
time
he had
to do
that
it?
little doubt.
Yeah, it's like, oh fuck it, I gotta go. I love that part. Again, those wingsuits, I forgot what they're called, like squirrel
Suits, yeah.
Squirrel suits. They actually exist.
Yeah.
So a lot of
Skydivers use it.
Skydivers use it. A lot of people in France actually use that for skydiving or not spelunking, but diving from like
Bridges and stuff,
skyscrapers,
yeah.
like skyscrapers and stuff like that. So they really do exist.
And then he had so instead of having like Iron Man vision, he wore contacts.
Yes.
Contacts that were basically small computers that could read the environment.
Yeah.
Which that does exist too.
So Lucius Fox, I'm sure exists.
Not yet though, because I don't think Wayne Enterprises isn't Wayne Enterprises.
Who's making all his gadgets then?
All that he does.
He is.
Do you remember that comic book, Batman Year 100?
No, I have never.
So
read
in that comic, he's a mechanic too.
Okay.
So not only he's building his bikes, his cars,
Yeah.
and it's very much like a Year One version of
With a
Batman
little help
2.
from Alfred, of course, right?
No, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
very much an adaptation of the Year One Batman.
Okay.
Except he's less Batman-y, except for the cowl. But for the most time, he's like building.
He's like Iron Man.
He's like
he's
build-
like Tony Stark. Basically.
But no, he's like a mechanic. You know, like,
Well, I mean, Tony Stark's also. a
yeah, but
mechanic.
Tony Stark's like
Tony Stark's
a crazy inventor.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
He's
super,
yeah.
yeah.
So I mean,
Genius.
everything he's making is practical. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay, makes sense. Okay.
So
Lucius Fox does not exist in this world yet.
Not yet.
But
I don't think Wayne Enterprises
When Wayne
is
Enterprise
Wayne
goes
Enterprises
up,
yet.
That's when Lucius is like, Mr. Wayne, I heard about you. I work at the Department of Engineering.
So
whatever.
yeah. So instead of his Batman being in a dark hole right now, I think this movie transcended him into a better scope, and he's gonna invest his money in because you remember the mayor was like, Mr. Wayne, your dad was a big philanthropist and we're not seeing any of that from you.
Right.
That's what
Because he's been very much a recluse, locked up in his house.
She got shot. I don't think she died.
No,
because at
she
the
didn't.
end, she didn't. But I don't think she wants to be the mayor anymore because of all the risks that she has to take. So I think she's gonna step down.
I think they're probably going to take a little bit out of no man's land, right? The big, how Gotham got messed up, and all of the crime lords
They're gonna
trying
start
to take
in
over.
the next film. It's gonna be like that.
Like no man's
It's
land.
gonna be no man's land.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to rebuild Gotham again because of because of what Riddler did. Edward did. He detonated certain parts of Gotham, so they're gonna have to rebuild. And we're gonna have more crime because they're too busy rebuilding and stuff. So even Batman says like I have to push. He talks to himself, and you hear him talking to himself. I have to push myself harder, and I have to get better because I'm taking hits it's not funny.
I feel like Matt Reeves took a lot of what we like about the Batman character.
Gosh, bro. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like watching all the animated movies and reading the comics, Batman is very introspective. He
Very,
speaks to himself.
Very.
It's cool to watch a detective film and understand what the processes are.
Right.
What they're
I
doing.
really love that. I was digesting that so much. All that detective stuff. I mean, we do have some great action, by the way.
The movie starts with narration.
There's just narration. And
People when crime happens. I can't be everywhere.
It's so Rorschach in the beginning.
He said I can't be everywhere.
Yeah,
but
so Rorschach.
but they don't know where I am. You know what I mean? I can't be everywhere, but they don't know where I am. They think I'm in the shadows.
Right.
It's like little clips of like criminals looking at the dark.
Right. And this Batman's established already.
Dude,
because
and what about that shot when he's walking through the tunnel getting hit by bullets and you just see him light up?
I love that shot so much.
You know what that reminds me of? Rogue One, Darth Vader.
Darth Vader's Rogue One when he goes through the
and he lights up his lightsaber,
and he kills
starts
the
wrecking
rebels and stuff,
everyone.
and starts yeah. So
that was a
because you get the on and off lights, right?
Yeah.
And the laser blasters like lighting up.
And you just see Batman progress through the tunnel and he's just wrecking people.
Dude, so he's so Darth Vader in this film. He's like every time the bat signal goes off, they already know the criminals see it, and when the spotlight, like when you have like
it's not just the calling, it's a warning.
It's about to go down. And they make Batman so scary in the first 15 minutes of this film, especially when he's being introduced and everything. He's like the boogeyman. I mean, he's he's established, so they know him for like a year already. They know how he is. They know what's gonna happen. So they're scared. They're about to like flee because of the bat signal.
Yeah, they're scared of encountering them.
You can tell by their faces. And by the way, I want to mention also when they caught the Riddler, and it sucks because Rich had to use the restroom, and I know all of us have to use the restroom at certain times, so we have to think, okay, are they just gonna do dialogue here? Because if they're just gonna do full dialogue,
yeah, I'm like,
this is the best time to go use the restroom because it's a 3-hour film. Be careful with how much drinks and liquids you're gonna place in your body.
3 hours long.
3-hour long film. Rich went straight to the restroom when the Riddler got caught. This is like the scene where the Riddler got caught.
He was at the diner.
And he was at the diner. Rich missed this part, but I want to explain this part to you, Rich. When you remember this part when they slammed Edward's face onto the counter, you can see his face, his facial expression. He's like he's like loving. He's getting a thrill out of getting caught because he's about to, that was his plan, to get caught because he wants to tell Bruce, Batman, his major plan.
Yeah.
Which is detonate the whole Gotham City. And dude, I'm telling you, I'm on the fence right now between Paul Dano and Colin Farrell because they both, and even Jeffrey Wright. I mean, Jeffrey Wright was so good as Commissioner
Everyone in the
Gordon.
film did a great
It's
job.
hard to pick who's going to be which character you feel is like your favorite character.
This is the second best Batman film of all time.
This is the best Batman of all time. I'm sorry, but this is the best.
They had the whole film with no.
No, I think. I mean,
You say The Dark Knight. Though.
Heath Ledger is
hard to beat.
Yeah.
Dude. Heath Ledger is like.
That's the bar right now. Dude.
Yeah, that's
the bar. But
I
mean,
would put the second.
But for this one to do that good after
so
that,
good.
you know what I mean? Like, man, it was.
Yeah, I'm expecting more.
And it was 3 hours long, and it didn't drag.
No, at all. I mean, just like the Nolan
You were on the edge of your seat for 3 hours.
Every scene was relevant.
Yeah, there
Every
was.
scene was supposed
just
to
when
be
you
there.
think it's ending, like it just opens up some more, and then you're like, oh shit, cool.
Mhm.
Falcone got killed. End of the movie. Wait, what about
Well, there's
the
three
Riddler?
stories to this film. There's a penguin story, right? There's a penguin and the pushing of the.
And his rise to power.
Oh no, the pushing of the drugs. He helped
Yeah,
push the drugs.
the drop, the
drops.
The
drips.
drops, right?
Mhm.
There's a Selena Kyle and the Falcone story, and then the last story is the Riddler story. See, there's 3 stories to this film, and we all get to experience every story.
Yeah, then you can't tend to forget one story was involved in that story. I was like,
Yeah, I was like,
shit,
wait
what
a
about the Riddler?
I know, wait, they haven't got the Riddler yet. This
Yeah.
movie's not
It's
like
not even
it's not even
done.
done yet. They haven't got the Riddler yet. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it had me on the edge of my seat. Yeah, it was
So good.
great.
So good, guys.
I mean, I'm definitely gonna watch it again.
Yeah, Blu-ray style.
Yeah, I'm gonna
With the
watch.
extended edition.
Yeah, I'm gonna
extended
watch it
scene.
again.
Deleted
With another hour extension to the film, just like what they did with the Lord of the Rings extended edition.
Oh shit.
Remember that? Yeah, great film, guys.
Gets a 9.5 out of 10, I think.
That's it.
I mean, dude, Joker's 10 out of 10. And this is almost there, but it's only because Heath Ledger's Joker was
But
just.
Paul Dano's performance and the
But
Penguin's performance.
Paul Dano is the perfect
Riddler.
serial killer.
Yeah, he is the perfect serial killer. He looks so innocent.
He's
He's okay. Paul Dano's character, his face. I'm not saying Paul Dano's like that. I'm sure Paul Dano's a very nice guy in real life, but his character and his portrayal and just his delivery reminds me of like someone who got fired from a job and will just come back and just go postal.
Yeah, I mean,
That got dark pretty quick. I'm sorry. But
he's very
like that.
he's very much the lone shooter.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He's alone.
He's like the guy that you used to pick on in school, and he he used to get
Comes back
bullied
with
so
rifles.
much, and he just comes back and just have like
Spazzes out on everyone.
puts revenge on every single person that's ever hurt him in the past. That's his character, and that's what he did in this film.
So,
that's what he did.
I
in
think
this
Sounds like
film.
he was doing that.
Rob Pattinson's Batman is better than Christian Bale's Batman,
I think so.
and
think so.
Selena Kyle is the best Catwoman in that film,
I don't know.
and the Riddler is second to Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yes, the Riddler second to Heath Ledger's Joker. And supporting cast, I think the Penguin
On
is by
point.
far the best supporting
Dude,
cast.
Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon, that was perfect.
Yeah, he did
So
great.
good.
That was like the best casting, I think. Like everyone was questioning Rob Pattinson being Batman, but no one questioned Jeffrey
No,
Wright
of
being
course not.
Commissioner
No,
Gordon.
because after what's that
Westworld?
show? Westworld. After
Beast,
Westworld,
he's such a fucking
he's
beast.
so good that I'm like, okay, yeah, he's good. Yeah, we're not like,
He's a
oh
pass.
wait, he's gonna voice the Watcher. Okay, cool.
Yeah, The Watcher.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm cool with that. Yeah, no problems here. No complaints here, man. So yeah, guys.
I give it also like a 9.5 out of 10, dude.
9. Okay.
Yeah, dude,
You know what,
that was
guys?
amazing.
I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
This movie
It's
is
almost there too.
There's nothing wrong
there
with
is
the film.
nothing wrong with this movie.
No.
I'm trying to find some like maybe there is definitely there is. I'm trying to think right now. Is there any flaws that I can think of?
Yeah.
I mean, every movie has a flaw, but me personally, this is like one of the perfect.
Yeah, and there wasn't a lot of like the mystery behind Batman, because you know, like how in all the other films he just
no, he's front
he
and
just
center
disappears.
Batman. No,
you know what I mean? Like he'll be talking to someone and then he'll
He
just
doesn't even know how to do
be
that.
gone.
Yet. He doesn't know how to do that.
He only did it once.
He doesn't know how to do ninja
He
stuff
did it
yet.
to that police officer at Riddler's house.
Are you talking about what's his name, Martinez? Officer Martinez?
Yeah, he did it to him at the end,
Officer
but
Martinez was funny.
but I mean, other than that, I mean, he has Ra's al Ghul been part of his life yet?
I don't think Roger Gould has been.
No.
Actually, well, then supposedly in some of this, it depends on I guess what
Because you could see you could see he's not smooth yet.
No, he doesn't even know how to do.
He takes
he's
all
not even
this
ninja.
damage,
He's
dude.
not ninja at all.
Yeah, he's not ninja.
He's not stealthy. When he did that smoking,
His shoes make so much noise.
He's so clunky with his shoes,
Yeah.
man, and he just makes so much noise. Like, I'm here just to let you know. He goes in the club, like, okay.
He walks in through the front door.
Yeah.
He just goes in the
Beating
club
up
like I'm here.
everyone on the way.
He can sneak though, because when Selena got into the district
one
attorney's
scene.
house, he snuck in there with her too.
Well, there's also a scene
And he
where
was
he was
quiet.
up in the ceiling, when he was up in the ceiling.
Yeah, he was hiding in the
He was
ceiling.
hiding, and then he crashed down into.
That was a crazy scene too.
was
To
good
see him
too.
up there, that was
That
scary.
was like a Ben Affleck scene right there.
That was scary.
That was a BVS scene right there, where Ben Affleck was.
Dude.
Just pops out.
Dude, but when Ben Affleck beat those dudes up in the warehouse, that was
one of
ruthless.
that's what we were looking for, though.
Yeah.
When they announced, I think Matt Reeves was supposed to do that. Matt Reeves was supposed to do a Ben Affleck Batman. At one point, I think that got canceled.
I mean,
It was Matt Reeves who was supposed to do a Ben Affleck Batman.
I'm just happy because dude, there was so much happening with the Snyderverse and the DCEU. Like people were just like, "What's happening here?"
No, but
I'm happy that they did this.
yeah,
And they didn't and they did it they did it well, and it there's no questions. You know what I mean? There's no. It's like.
Is that a pun? You said.
Oh,
questions.
hey.
Is that- no pun intended.
No pun intended.
No questions, huh? Yeah, guys. So 10 out of 10 for me. It's a perfect film. I have no negatives on this one. I mean, it's a 3-hour film, but so was the Nolanverse, which is almost a perfect film to me too. I think The Dark Knight was another perfect film to me. The Dark Knight is like 11 out of 10 for me, dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's just way
that's
too good.
Yeah.
It's way too good. Heath Ledger's such a perfect Joker.
But I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really excited to see what my boy Barry Keoghan can
Let's
do.
see. Dude, that's a
with
tough.
the
The new
Joker.
Joker, yes.
Okay, look, that's a
gonna be-
tough shoe to fill because Joaquin Phoenix did so well as a Joker.
He did, but I feel like he's gonna be a little different.
No, I
style.
know. This is a different Joker, but I'm just saying, like, it's a, if you.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker was the man who laughs,
Mhm.
right?
And
He's the
then
joke.
this guy-
He's the comedian.
Yeah.
The comedian. Yeah, he's a comedian Joker. But like the New 52, or I don't know if it's the New 52.
I feel like this one's gonna be.
Or is it DC Rebirth or the New 52 where they said that there were like 3 existing Jokers in the world?
Yeah.
I think it was Rebirth or one of those, New 52 or Rebirth. But supposedly they announced that there was like 3 different versions of the Joker existing. So all this time there was three Jokers that Batman was fighting, and he didn't know he was fighting 3 different Jokers because they were all bullshitting, just like Heath Ledger's stories, always bullshitting about his stories. So yeah, guys, that's our review for this midnight, or this is our midnight review for the Batman, 3-hour long movie. Thank you right now for one person who's been watching this whole entire review. I hope that you like this review, and if I hope you saw the film already.
Yeah, and if you
Because
haven't,
if you haven't, what are you doing here?
you should be watching.
But
the
if you
film.
don't care about spoilers, that's fine. Some people don't care about spoilers and want to get spoiled right away
Maybe we
before
just
they watch the
inspire
film.
them to say, you know what, fucking now I'm gonna go watch.
Yeah, maybe some people
Midnight.
just want to know about the review before they watch it. So you guys, it's already midnight. So the Batman finally comes out, and there you guys go, man. Enjoy this film because
Yeah.
we definitely did. Yeah.
We hope you guys. We hope you guys. You had a good time hearing us. If you like it, hit that like button. Also for all the other viewers that jump in and watch this after. I'm sure by then you guys already watched the film.
Yeah, Efren is really tired right now. You can tell.
So
his energy went like from here to like. 3-hour film, guys. You know,
3-hour film.
that's why you need to drink lots of Rockstar Red Bull.
Don't
Like
drink
I
too
did.
much because
I
they're
drank
gonna be
two-
going to the bathroom all the time.
I drank like 2 Rockstars before watching this film because I know I didn't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
There's no way I wanted to blink in this. But yeah. So Rich, is there anything you wanted to say to close this?
No.
Or
Hey guys,
anything
appreciate
you want to say to our
Appreciate it,
Viewers?
community. The Batman did not disappoint. 2 enthusiastic thumbs up,
yeah.
and I'm really curious to see where this goes.
Yeah. Are we gonna get like the next Batman film? Like what, 2-3 years?
Probably gonna be 4
Maybe it
years.
might be
4 years?
I don't know.
If everything goes back on track and they see like if this
I don't
becomes
know.
very profitable, they
The
might
way
be like, you
the
know
way
what?
Warner Brothers does things, we might not even see anything else.
Robert Pattinson's gonna be like 50 years old for
Yeah.
his next Batman film, and they're gonna have to do like a time jump. Like, oh, okay, this is what Batman's been doing, for the past 20 years or so.
Yeah, exactly.
15 years.
Oh gosh. But anyways, guys, yeah, thanks again. Like, subscribe again, what Efren said. If you guys, a special shout out to our subscribers. I'm sorry, to our Patreons, which is Jason Peltran and Beltran. I'm sorry, Jason. Sorry, it's midnight.
Okay.
I have an excuse. Too.
Midnight.
Jason, midnight. That's my excuse. Jason Beltran and Invincible. And special shout out to our boys, Oscar, Melvin, Gia, of course, because Melvin always tells me, hey, give us a shout out. So here's your shout out to little Gia right there. I miss you too, little girl. And of course, Melvin and Oscar and everyone.
All the
Yeah.
bodies.
And all the bodies and stuff. So yeah, that's that, guys.
Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Take
Yeah.
care, you guys.
Yeah. So much energy, Efren. All right. It's still live.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.